happy moment. I wanted to break some sad news to you. Mr. Yue Yang, I'm sure that a lot of people know him. Mr. Yang passed away on February the 18th at the age of 99. Okay. Mr. Yue Yang was the founding member of CIE San Francisco chapter. He also served as the honorary advisor for the National Council of CIE. Further, he served as the second president of CIE San Francisco chapter and contributed a lot to this nonprofit organization. So next, let's welcome David Fawn, the former chairman and president of CIE San Francisco, to give tribute to Mr. Yang. Welcome, David.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Yue Chyou Yang was a pioneer in engineering, and he also was a true leader of CIE. He passed away just a couple of weeks ago, and while we feel sad on one hand of his passing, but on the other hand, he has lived a full and productive life. So I would rather celebrate his life with you tonight. Mr. Yang was a prominent structural engineer, and as I said, he was a leader in the Chinese American community. He was the founding member of CIE San Francisco chapter. And he actually could be the founding president of this chapter, but he said, let's find a young man to be the first president. So they asked Dr. Dalin Xu Dalin 博士 to be the first president, and he was the second president of this chapter. Also, he pushed for the founding of the National Council of CIE, and at that time there was the New York chapter, which was the first chapter. Actually, CIE was founded in New York, and then San Francisco chapter founded, and the New York chapter was generous to agree that they would also be a chapter. So the New York chapter and San Francisco chapter formed this national council, and Mr. Yang was a leader pushing for the founding of the National Council, and he served as the second chairman of the council. And we also know that CIE has two international conferences. One is the Modern Engineering and Technology Seminar, or called METS, which started in 1966 in Taipei. And another one is the Sino-American Technology and Engineering Conference, which started in 1993 in Beijing. And Mr. Yang was instrumental in establishing those two conferences. He was born in Haimen, Jiangsu province in China, educated in Tangshan Technology College, or Engineering College. That was part of the Jiao Tong University. So actually he pushed for all 5 campuses of Jiao Tong University to gather and celebrate together. So today we see, all the alumni associations of Jiao Tong University celebrating together, and that was pushed by Mr. Yang. He got his master's degree from University of Michigan, and he began his career in T.Y. Lin and Associates, and later it's called T.Y. Lin International. And he then became eventually chief engineer and the chairman of the board of this organization. So this was an old picture, I think in the early 90s, I believe, of the CIE, and I believe in our audience, there were quite a few former CIE presidents in table 7, and I think you are in there. This was when he was talking to K.T. Lee, then Ministry of Economy in Taiwan, and in establishing METS. He was also the honored guest of Chairman Jiang Zemin and in Beijing. This was when he talked to Premier Zhu Rongji in Beijing. Now, in celebrating his life, I think let us look at some of the projects that he involved or designed. This was San Francisco International Airport. So the ring road system, the elevated road system, was constructed by his firm, and he was involved in that. And this was a picture of the elevated roads while in construction. This was the, also a highway interchange or viaduct in Hong Kong. It's the Lai Ji Kok viaduct in Hong Kong. This is the Moscone Center underground exhibition space. This is another picture of the Moscone Center. This is the Hilton Hotel, or sometimes was the Holiday Inn Hotel, depending on who's the owner, in Chinatown or next to the financial district in San Francisco. This is the Laverne College or Laverne University Campus Center in Southern California. Now, I think the more important contributions of his projects are in bridges, and I believe we all love bridges. And not only that it bridges the two sides, but also it looks good. So this is the high bridge on Mississippi, over Mississippi, connecting St. Paul and Minneapolis. And this is an inverted suspension bridge over the Rio Colorado, I believe, in Costa Rica. This is the Nanpu Bridge and the exchange system in Shanghai across Huangpujiang, going into Pudong. And because of the constraint of the geology, so they had to make the ongoing ramp to be circles to save space. This is the Jiantan metro station, Jiantan Station in Taipei Metro. It looks like a bridge. It actually is a bridge. And this is the same station at night. And finally, this is the Guandu Bridge over the Tamsui River in Taipei. This is a view in day. This is a good view. And this is the same bridge at night. So we're here actually to celebrate his productive and full life. And Mr. Yang was born just 1 year after CIE was founded in 1998. And so he is actually the embodiment of CIE. And the reason that CIE can last for more than 100 years is because we have people like him that cares and leads and maintain this organization. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.